Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our County Council meeting for May 20th, 2025. Great to see everybody in the audience. Lots of people present. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
It's moved by Councillor Broad, seconded by Councillor McGillis, that the meeting of the Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas and Glengarry be hereby called to order.
All those in favor? It's carried. Madam Clerk, the agenda, any additions?
It's moved by Councillor McGillis, seconded by Councillor Landry, that Council approve the agenda.
All those in favor? Everybody, thank you. Carried. Any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none. 4.1, minutes of April 22nd, May 8th.
It's moved by Councillor Broad, seconded by Councillor McGillis, that the minutes of the meetings, including the in-camera minutes of the Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas and Glengarry, held April 22nd and May 8th, 2025, be adopted as circulated.
Anybody notice any errors or omissions? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. And CEO Adams and Director Young, I think, have a presentation.
Thank you, Warden Lang and members of council. Good morning, everyone. I wanted to take an opportunity to properly recognize Mr. Ben DeHaan, our Director of Transportation, that has been able to embark upon a new opportunity with South Dundas as their new CAO. And I just wanted to maybe highlight a couple of things. I'm not going to do it justice because I've only been with the counties for a couple of years, but I have known Ben for a little while. Ben was hired in January 2009 as the Assistant County Engineer and then became the County Engineer in August of the same year. He was responsible for the Planning and Transportation Departments effective in March 2015. And then he managed both of these areas until 2021 when we recruited Director of Planning Peter Young. I wanted to say that Ben is well known in the municipal sector and is also well respected by his peer group of county engineers. He has, through Good Roads, he's taught courses. He's certainly been part of the cost group, which I won't do it justice to describe. He's participated in certainly the asset management and long-term capital planning of our road network. And I think that tremendous accolades need to be provided to both Ben and County Council over the years because we really have maintained that road network, and SDG is well known for the road network that we have. I wanted to indicate that Ben has been certainly an integral part of our senior team. His department will miss his leadership in the years ahead, but I also wanted to mention Ben and I have worked together on a couple of things with respect to the Eastern Ontario Leadership Council, which is a group that's formed as part of the Mayor's Caucus and the Warden's Caucus. We've worked in this transportation working group, and a big part of one of the big projects that came out of that was the one-window permitting, and we have referenced that a couple of times. But the thought behind that was really to provide efficiency and make that whole permitting process less cumbersome for those that needed to apply for the permits. So that has been something that's been certainly well recognized and has been unfolded in many areas across Eastern Ontario and Ontario. So I'd like to just congratulate Ben, recognize his 16 years of service with the counties, and we have many staff here this morning. And I think we would like to ask Ben to come on up. We have a small presentation. Apparently it is maybe a bit of a tradition that we provide Ben with a sign, an SDG sign, and it indicates his years of service. So Ben, if you'll come on up.
Congratulations, Ben. Quite an accomplishment. Any members of council have anything they wanted to say or mention? Maybe some of those have been here a little longer than me. Councillor McDonald.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Yeah, I would just like to congratulate Ben. When he first started, and I had first started, he was a little difficult to deal with. You know, he thought he was a typical engineer and thought he was always right. So it was, but it's been a lot of fun over the years. He's been a great asset to the counties. Always came with great reports and always kept all of county council informed. So I wish him luck in the future. He's going to need it in South Dundas. It's good that you're going there, Ben. I mean, they do have a lot of issues there with their council. So good luck, Ben. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. I just want to acknowledge Ben for his leadership. In my years of knowing him in his position, Ben was always looking, always over there, always to the future, always to what next big project are we going to tackle, and if it's sky high, all the better. So a very accomplished transportation director and really did wonderful work for SDG. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you very much. Councillor McGillis.
Thank you. I'd be remiss if I didn't say anything about Ben. I just want to thank Ben and congratulate him too as well of all the hard work he's done and to improve our infrastructure here at the counties. And I was here way back before Councillor McDonald and worked with DJ, which would be Lachlan's father. He was the engineer in those days. And, you know, things were different back in those days, but today we seem to have a council that thinks ahead, and I think that, you know, things that we've done over the past few years really made a change and a difference to the community. So everybody, I think, in our roads, in the county roads, we all know that when people come from all over, they give us compliments about our roads and our bridges and everything like that. So again, congratulations, and as Jamie said, you know, South Dundas is going to be a good township to work with. So, oh well, he's shaking his head again, but anyway, I think that things will work out really well and you're a good fit there. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Warden, and congratulations to Ben on his achievement of 16 years with the United Counties of SDG and for all the good work he's done. I'm always boastful about Ben's accomplishments and the quality of the road network, and that is only one part of his legacy. I'm sure there's going to be more to his legacy with his involvement with South Dundas, but we should be, all council members and all residents of SDG should be very, very appreciative of the quality of the roads network, and a lot of that falls on Ben's shoulders. So thank you very much, Ben, for providing safe and smooth transportation for all of us and all of our businesses and commerce. Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you. Anything further? Oh, Councillor Andre.
Well, I guess we'll take our turns through you, Mr. Mayor. So, yeah, I'd like to congratulate Ben. I think his professionalism, the respect that he held, I think, with all of this council and past council is next to none. And the respect that he gathered, I think he's shown us how proud he was to, and the job he did with SDG. Sorry. Anyway, so I think you guys at South Dundas are going to get that same professionalism that Ben brings to the job. But again, job well done, and we're proud of your accomplishment. Thank you very much. And I still have you on speed dial, so thank you.
Yeah, don't change your number. All right, Councillor Broad.
Sure, I'll briefly just say thank you. Thanks for everybody for acknowledging Ben coming to South Dundas. We're certainly excited and happy to see him. We did reach out. We verified a lot of the projects he worked on. We did a hard research on his background just to make sure you guys are all telling the truth. So that's great to hear. So appreciate it very much. So thanks, Ben.
Thank you. We have Director Young. He's going to do a presentation.
Thank you, Warden Lang and Council. So today, I'm proud and we're proud to recognize our senior planner, Lindsay Parisian, on achieving her Registered Professional Planner designation, or RPP. This is a significant professional milestone, one that only around 3,000 planners in the province has obtained, and only a handful in Eastern Ontario. For those that aren't in the planning field, it's like getting your CPA or your PEng that demonstrates high-level competence in core areas of planning, commitment to ethics and professionalism, and commitment to help and assist and train other planners. Getting this designation required years of hard work, evenings, weekends, writing hundreds of pages, multiple exams, attending courses and meetings, and receiving valuable support from her family and many former colleagues who are here in the audience today. Lindsay, you're an exceptional planner, and we're fortunate to have you both living in SDG and working for us. So on behalf of SDG Council, County's Council, and Administration, I want to thank you for your dedication to planning the future of our communities, and please join me in congratulating Lindsay on earning her RPP designation.
Congratulations, Lindsay. The future for our planning department, possibly. But Peter's young, forever young. I was remiss when I called the meeting to order. Councillor Gaindow has sent his regrets, so just a notice that he couldn't be here today. And we are on to, if I haven't missed anything, we're on to tenders and quotations, 7.1, Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor McGillis, seconded by Councillor Densham, that the Council of the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas and Glengarry accept the tender from Goldie Moore Limited for the replacement of the Wiley Creek and Dixon Creek box culverts at their unit prices totaling $441,000 plus HST, and that Council provide the Manager of Capital Works Bridges the authority to sign all documents to give effect to the contract.
Thank you. I think Mr. Rennell is going to speak to this.
Yes. Good morning, Council. What you have in front of you today are the results of the Wiley Creek and Dixon Creek culvert replacement tender. Both these culverts are budgeted items in the 2025 capital budget and have been identified as priority replacements for the 2023 OSIMs. We have benefited from another busy tender. We had 8 on the sheet this time. So with this work, we actually included a bonus penalty clause, which would try and encourage contractors to finish the work in the shortest amount of time possible without the road closure. So we do have a kind of a financial aspect attached to that, which will encourage them to try and be creative in how they complete the work. So with the results of this, we do actually have more than enough money to finish our final in-house Sandy Creek replacement. At the April meeting, you will remember that we did approve the supply of the various box culverts. So this will be the tender that basically installs the ones that we supplied on the previous one. So with that, we are happy with the results we received, the low bid contractor, and we are recommending award. So with that, we're happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Questions? Councillor McGillis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden. It's great to see that so many people put an estimate in, and you know, it makes a big difference. Ours was what, $1,250 or 250,000? Mm-hmm. 1,250,000. I correct myself. And it came in at 441, so it was a big difference. Mm-hmm. And was all these contractors invited to this estimate?
So through you, Mr. Oh, sorry.
No, I said this bid.
So yeah, this is an open bid. So I mean, we do have relationships with the contractors, so we will give a lot of them a heads up when these are coming out. But this is posted on Bid and Go, so this is open to any contractors as long as they have the appropriate references and documentation to complete the project.
Go ahead.
Thank you. The first three that bid on this contract, where are they from? I don't recognize the names.
One sec here, let me just find it. So Goldie Moore is out of Ottawa. They haven't worked with us before, but we did vet them, and they're a very big company in the area and are very regular in this type of work. Willis Kerr would actually be just around the corner there in Hallville, and then W.H. McSwain actually operates out of Winchester.
Thank you. Any further questions? Question of my own. We're talking about box culverts, but the picture looks like a corrugated culvert. Are we replacing those with a box culvert, or are we just using the term box culvert?
Yeah, so we actually had to get some engineering done because obviously the steel culverts are a bit different shape than what the box culverts are. So we do have to actually do some study and coordinate with the Conservation Authority just to kind of see what that equivalent round to square equation is. So we're actually converting all these steel culverts over to box culverts just for that longer lifespan side of things. So we do believe when we get to culverts of this size that it is a good investment for us on long-term asset management.
I think that's great. I know we have some in South Glengarry that I think are 80 plus years old, and getting near the end, but I don't think we get anywhere near that out of our corrugated ones.
Yeah, it's hard to be mad about that, eh?
Yeah. Anything further? Seeing nothing, all those in favor? It's everyone is carried. Thank you. 8.1 Utility Locator Agreement, Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor Broad, seconded by Councillor MacDonald, that bylaw number 5495, being a bylaw to authorize an agreement between the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas and Glengarry and Promark Telecom Incorporated, be read and passed in open council, signed and sealed.
Thank you very much. Mr. Baker, go ahead.
Good morning, Mr. Warden, Council. Yes, so in front of you this morning is a proposal for a contract renewal with Promark Telecom, who has been our locate provider for SDG County since 2015. The reason we're looking at an update right now, SDG County was originally missed in their 2022 round of renewals. So what we're trying to do here is a relatively short term, 8 months, get us up to speed, if you will, with their 2025 rates, and then we'll be going forward in renewals with all the other clients at the time. So noted in the report, it is a significant price increase per locate. However, on the grand scheme of the budget, staff still believe this is the most efficient way to deliver this service. It is a regulated service that we have to deliver, and this is the best way to be able to do it. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Questions? I was going to say Karma. Sorry. Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Did they miss us or did we miss them? You'd referenced that at the beginning. I'm just asking because if the current existing contract goes until early 2026, why are they not honoring that price until then?
So our contract expired in 2022. We missed that renewal, so we've actually been operating under the old pricing scheme for the first 2 years of this term, if you will. So what we're doing is being brought up to date with the current rates. So we've been the past 2 years we've actually been benefiting from paying our previous rates. It was an administrative thing on their end. They contacted us in February to let us know, oops, sorry, you were missed.
Okay.
Brought the proposal forward, and this was the first chance to get it in front of council.
Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Any further questions? So we gained 2 years of lower rates.
Hopefully it averages out.
All those in favor? Is everyone carried? Thank you. We are at consent agenda, Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor Densham, seconded by Councillor Laundrie, that all items listed under the consent agenda section of the agenda be received for information purposes.
Anybody have any comments on the consent agenda? Seeing none, all those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. Boards and committees, Warden's report. I'll start it off. Couple of things that was involved in this the past month, I guess, since the last council meeting. The grand opening of Boot and Bin Cafe in South Glengarry, and I know they've participated in some of our various programs to get up and running, and I was happy to see they got a new building, and we went by there on the weekend. There was quite a few cars in there, so good to see them up and making a go of it. North Stormont's grand opening, thank you for the invite. Beautiful building, beautiful council chambers. Jealous. Hopefully we get there soon. Happy to see that come. And then South Dundas, thanks for the invite to the Dutch Meadows historic plaque unveiling. Very well done, and it was impressive to see the ambassador there, and she spoke extremely well. Happy to be able to attend. And then the last Monday and Tuesday of last week with the Warden's Caucus, we had our regular meeting in Queen's Park and had some lobby days in Queen's Park. Warden's Caucus pushing basically three items with all the ministers that we met with. And one, strengthening our economic resilience in the face of tariffs and global uncertainty, streamlining investment in municipal infrastructure, and really pushing them that, with our asset management plans coming on board and everybody getting those done, we're going to need some funding from the province. And we didn't ask for anything specific at this meeting, but just gave them the heads up that we'll be seeing them at AMO, and we'll likely have delegations, be looking for some help. And in the meantime, we wanted to convey to them that we are here to work with them and we are willing to help them. So whatever they had on their agenda that we could help with, we were more than happy to make sure it went both ways. We're not just always there with our hand out, but we're there to support the province as well. And then accelerating our housing development. So the start of the day, Tuesday was the big day. Started the day with breakfast, and various ministers came in. It was very informal, but a great chance to meet, and some of them stayed around quite a while. It was good to see. Some of the ministers that we saw at breakfast and throughout the day and had formal meetings with Rob Flack, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, Vic Fideli, Minister of Economic Development and Jobs Creations and Trade, David Piccini, Minister of Labour, Immigration, Training and Skills Development, Kinga Surma, Minister of Infrastructure, Peter Bethlen, if I don't get that right, Minister of Finance, and Kevin Holland, Associate Minister of Forestry, Lisa Thompson, Minister of Rural Affairs, Neil Lumsden, Minister of Sport, obviously Mr. Quinn. He spent a reasonable amount of time with us, but he is getting busier, so he can't hang around all the time. But he's Minister of Colleges, University, Research Excellence and Security, and Jill Dunlop, Minister of Emergency Preparedness. So it was very positive. I think that everybody, was open to what we had and understanding where we're coming from. And then to kind of finish it off, that day we had a meeting with Mr. Ford himself, and quite a few of his ministers came in and sat around a huge table. So some of us were in for the first part of the meeting and kind of the business end, and then everyone came in for, because there wasn't room to seat everyone, but everyone came in for a picture at the end and shake hands and say hi. So I think very productive 2 days in Toronto. That's it for me. Joint Liaison Committee, was there a meeting? I think we got one coming up, eh? Library Board, anything? Oh, go ahead, Mr. Broad.
No, thank you. We had our last board meeting April 24th at Avamore. We recognized all the volunteers in that area, which was great. A few things from the board. We have ended our relationship with the nation. We remember a few months ago we had a partnership as they closed their libraries. We didn't have any action of members of that library using the SDG library, so we've ended that relationship. We reviewed a few policies on code of conduct and child supervision. More to come on that. And we also completed our user survey. So we completed a survey throughout all the library branches and got a lot of information that we'll continue to build into our marketing and strategic plan. One thing I want to comment though is the first quarter of 2025, we exceeded 90,000 physical and digital circulation units, which is the most in the last 7 years and probably ever we've had in the SDG library. So we continue to track, monitor, collect data, and prove out how valuable the library is to SDG. Next meeting is in June.
Thank you. Police Services Board, we haven't had a meeting yet. Eastern Ontario Health Unit. Go ahead, Mr. McGillis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Warden. I sit on the board along with Councillor Williams. We touched on a few things, one of which was the measles again. And any kids that had measles were homeschooled to keep it contained. The strain of measles is the same as when we were kids ourselves. And anybody born prior to the 70s are safe because we pretty well all had it then. And the dose from the vaccine for the kids is 93% protected. So, and if they have 2 doses, they're 97% protected from the measles. Primarily affected children, but can impact people of any age who are not vaccinated. The incubation period is about 10 to 14 days. We also talked about ticks, and try to keep this no mow May is not that great because the ticks are now back and live and well, and we know the consequences if anybody gets a tick. There could be Lyme disease, and it's could be a serious thing. So keep your grass short. We talked a little bit about the provincial dental plan in Ontario. I suggested if the East Ontario Health Unit could send information to the different municipalities where we could upload it on our website so everybody understands that who has able to use the funding through the province for the dental care, usually low-income people. What else? We talked a little bit about the fluoride. It's a serious thing. There's municipalities right now looking to opt out, but there's different ones. Like for example, Windsor opt out, but they reinstated it in 2013. They opted out, so they reinstated. The city of Cornwall now are in discussion again to keep it or not. Dr. Paul stresses that it's very important that fluoride is an important part of kids' health care. And adults too, but mostly kids for their teeth, and there's other reasons behind it. But he feels that they should keep it in, reinstate the fluoride because it's important for health. But we also talked about the Alexandria office and what things that they're going to be offering there in a little while. So I think Karma or Councillor Williams is from that area. Well, maybe I'll ask her to speak to that.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, they're still planning on expanding the empty space in Alexandria that the health unit owns. I think what they're planning on doing is putting a walk-in clinic in there and moving maybe some of the services from the hospital into that location as well. So that it can free up some space in the hospital for, I think, what were they doing there? I don't remember.
We're working with the province right now. So what they're looking at is the outpatient and also day surgery.
Right, day surgery in the hospital. So that'll free up some space. So they're working with the hospital. And also, and I mentioned this before, there's a mobile mental health and addiction unit that's going to be coming to SDG, and that's still in the works. So that'll be coming, and that'll be very, very interesting to see what kind of supports that offers the region. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Any questions? No, thank you. Glenstone Dunn Lodge, Councillor Broad.
No meeting. Next meeting, June 18th.
Thank you. St. Lawrence River Institute, Councillor Gaino's not here. Raise and South Nation Source Protection, nothing. Municipal Advisory, nothing. Regional Incentives Program, nothing. Rural Education Committee, no. Social Development, Councillor Williams.
Yes, currently the board is hiring for Carolina Bear's position, so that's kind of occupying the SDC at the moment. Thank you.
And Forest Working Groups, nothing. That was for me. And Border Mayors Alliance.
Yeah, we just skipped
Councillor Broad.
we skipped a couple weeks with the election, so we'll be back meeting again now.
Okay, thank you. We're on key information 11.1, 2025 SG reads. Director Luck.
Good morning. So it's that time of year again where we talk about SDG Reads. So SDG Reads is sloganed a one book, one community program that encourages all residents across SDG counties to read the same title before coming together for an evening with the author. SDG Reads selects Canadian authors to highlight the diverse talent of our country while building a sense of community through the shared experience of reading. In anticipation for the launch of the 2025 SDG Reads, a series of clues were posted through social media and within branches, encouraging patrons to guess this year's featured author. All correct guesses were entered into a draw to win a free copy of the novel, with the winner being announced later this week. I am very excited to announce that the 2025 SDG Reads event will feature author Nita Prose and her Molly the Maid series. Nita is the #1 New York Times bestselling author of The Maid, which has sold more than 2 million copies worldwide. The Maid won the Ned Kelly Award for International Crime Fiction, the Fingerprint Award for Debut Novel of the Year, the Anthony Award for Best First Novel, and the Barry Award for Best First Mystery. This year's SDG Reads event will feature all her novels within the Molly the Maid series, namely The Maid, The Mystery Guest, and her newest novel, The Maid's Secret, which was released just this past month. Residents of SDG counties will be invited to attend the event at the North Stormont Place on Monday, October 6th. A special VIP event will be held for those wishing to have a one-on-one time with the author. The main event will follow, in which Nita will speak about her novel, answer questions from the audience, and provide a book signing opportunity. The event will culminate with a silent auction, with proceeds going to SDG Reads. As a special tribute, Nita has prepared a few words for this year's event.
Hello, dear readers. I'm Nita Prose, and I am so excited that The Maid is the next spotlight book for residents of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry. You are all readers, and that means, even though I don't know you personally yet, you're my favorite folks in the whole wide world. And I am coming your way on October 6th, and I can't wait to meet you and sign your books. And speaking of books, I've got a new one just out that's part of the Molly the Maid series. In fact, it's the grand finale, and it is yellow, and it is called The Maid's Secret. If you love The Maid and the other books in this series, I sure hope you'll give it a read. For the first time ever, you're going to get to hear not only from Molly, but also from her gran in a mystery that's both a heist novel and an epic, star-crossed love story. So here's hoping you like it. Anyhow, we can chat about this and so much more on October 6th when I'm there in person in your community. Until then, I wish you happy reading.
Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Everybody's going to get their book out, get going. Oh, Councillor Fraser.
I was waiting for Councillor Broad to jump in, but he was a little slow in the draw, so. But I'm sure you'll have some more to add. I would appreciate it if you did. This is a fantastic event. For those that have been there, they'll attest to that. For those that haven't, they've missed out. And I do encourage each and every one of us to attend. It's a lot of effort from the library staff to come up with the novel idea, not the novel idea, but the idea for the novel, and. It is such a wonderful event, an easy, comfortable, engaging event that is for young and old. It's well worth the evening in North Stormont. And thanks to North Stormont for hosting it. It's always a good venue. Councillor Broad.
Thanks, Councillor. Yeah, no, appreciate all the work the library board does on this, and again, looking forward to the event. Craig Shreve last year was amazing insight onto the story, so it'll be great to have Nita explain how her ideas came up for the book, and it gets you to read. Like we're reading right now, Animal Farm is our book club of the month for the library board, so we continue to promote reading throughout SDG Reads.
Thank you very much. Anything further, Councillor Landry?
And if I may add to that, so we are pleased to have the reading taken place or the event taken place in North Stormont, same as last year. So I think we did speak, but I think the deputy mayor will support me, but due to the fact that it is a fundraiser, so North Stormont will void the rental fees for the hall for your event. And maybe I'd like to see Councillor Broad, because we're reading the same book, but why am I getting this? So maybe they know how much. So anyways, thank you again, Rebecca.
To you, Mr. Warden, if I could just ask to take 2 minutes to take a picture with our board members. We have I'm going to say a big book over here in the corner that I would love to take this opportunity.
Go ahead. Thank you very much. Our next agenda item is budget meeting dates. We have, who's going to speak to that? Director Russell.
Good morning, Council. It's hard to believe it's that time again when we're starting to talk about budget dates for 2026. So we're looking for feedback from Council on what they'd like to see in terms of when we should be discussing our next budget deliberations for 2026. Staff are recommending that we continue to do a December meeting dates. There's benefits to both early budget processes as well as late, which I've outlined in the report. But a discussion on what Council would like to see in terms of budget dates. We did recommend December 2nd and December 3rd, but however, if Council should wish to have any other dates proposed, then we could definitely make another timeline work.
Thoughts around the table? Councillor McDonald?
Yeah, I prefer an early budget. I think it it sets the tone right at the beginning of the year on what, we can't worry about what happened last year. It's what we're planning for this year. So I would definitely be in favor of those dates as mentioned. Thank you.
Councillor McGillis?
Yeah, I agree as well. I think that the quicker we can get the budget in, just the faster we can in the spring get the tenders out there, and it's good to get out there quick so that the bids are there. And the dates are good with me.
All right, any opposing view? Don't see any. I guess we're going with December. Sounds good.
All right, thank you.
11.3, our corporate logo. Mr. Layu.
Speak with you this morning regarding the corporate logo. So if you'll permit me just to go back a couple of years, you'll remember that during the 2023 strategic planning session, Council identified branding as one of the pillars to address during this term of Council. To that end, corporate communications has been addressing the issue of our identity. You'll recall during those conversations that we talked about the fact that our corporate name is the United Counties of Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry, but often when you shorten that up, there can be a little bit of of a discussion around whether it's SDG, SDNG, SDG counties, and all of that fun stuff. So it was determined during that process that we would go with SDG counties as the preferred nomenclature when we're discussing ourselves in polite conversation and official documentation. So during this process, Warden Lang, the logo was an issue that we wanted to discuss just because it says the counties SDG. We wanted to have that change to reflect the fact that we now refer to ourselves as SDG counties. So thanks to some small design changes, we've taken the SDG as part of our logo and moved it up and removed the word the from that logo, and now we simply have the swoosh on the side as well as SDG counties. This proposed logo change really doesn't require much in the way of a public engagement process because it is relatively minor and we're not doing a whole lot to change that logo. We feel we can do this in-house with a simple council decision this morning. The limited changes also mean that we can go about replacing these logos on an as-needed basis. So as we replace business cards and fleet vehicles and stuff like that, we'll go ahead and make these changes. In terms of electronic copies of the logo, those changes can be made fairly quickly. We can start making changes on social media channels, the website, and really anything forward-facing online. We can make those changes fairly quickly. So with that, Warden Lang, that's the basis of my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions or comments? Councillor McGillis?
Thank you. I like the second one, but you think it's possible to make the font a little bit more clear or darker regarding Dundas or Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry in the bottom? You can't see it.
Yeah, through you, Warden Lang, yes, you're right. It's pretty. This is a pretty bad example. I'm going to suggest to you in a fairly sharp one. It's fairly readable, but I'd be happy to share examples with council if we wanted to bump up that font at the bottom to ensure a little bit more legibility.
All right, Councillor Dansom.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Through you, and I'm always afraid of making comments like this because you open up the door of people's opinions on the logo. What I liked about the old one was the fact that above and below SDNG, it kind of framed the SDNG, and I don't know whether you considered putting the Stormont, Dundas, and Glengarry above SDNG rather than below and just keep it. To me, the SDNG stands out in the first one a little bit more simply because it's framed, but again, that's just my personal opinion, something you may want to consider.
Through you, Warden Lang, once again, that is something that's very easily done, and I'd be happy to make that change.
Anything further? Seeing nothing, sounds like everybody's reasonably happy. Just some tweaks to see if it maybe brightens it up a bit, that's all. All right, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
We're at 11.4, X Trillium Venture 2025. I assume that's 2025. Spieler.
Good morning, Warden Lang, members of council. Under the Emergency Management and Civil Protection Act, there is a requirement for local government to have an emergency response plan or emergency response program and also conduct regular annual training and exercise. In 2025, we had a unique opportunity to partner with the Canadian Armed Forces to conduct our annual training exercise. In April, we kicked off a 3-day event in which the first day was municipally led, and it's known as the Combined Response Rehearsal, and it was a tabletop exercise. Throughout this exercise, basically, a variety of partners looked at a Boeing 767 cargo plane that was en route to Montreal from Toronto, carrying bulk consumer goods that ran into mechanical failure and impacted a large portion of the Long Sault Parkway and affected approximately 3,000 people in this fictitious scenario. The overall goals of the exercise was to test and strengthen our response to a catastrophic scenario that could not be solved by one agency or level of government alone. We wanted to identify challenges and obstacles early in the process and ensure that critical services and lives were safeguarded. Through the exercise, we wanted to test gaps in our current response plan, and as always, look for areas that we can improve going forward. The exercise also helped us refine our coordination and support strategies between agencies and ensure seamless collaboration during future emergencies. On April 25th, we met in South Stormont, and we were roughly 110 to 120 individuals who participated. We had representation from the Canadian Armed Forces and the Canadian Coast Guard. We had provincial representation from Emergency Management Ontario. St. Lawrence Parks Commission was there, as the major portion of the exercise was targeted at the Long Sault Parkway lands. OPP, City of Cornwall Police, EMS, the Health Unit, and all 3 regional hospitals were in attendance and participated. Raisin Region Conservation Authority, our emergency response support agencies like the Canadian Red Cross, ARES, OPG was there to speak to any implications to damage to the dam through this fictitious exercise. We had the Ottawa Volunteers Search and Rescue, and then we had municipal representation from the City of Cornwall, from the United Counties, Township of South Glengarry, Township of North Stormont, and Township of South Stormont in attendance. In the past, we've done a number of collaborative exercises throughout the years. Typically, when I've organized exercises in the past, I've provided the scenario and we gather together in our own municipal emergency control groups and work through a series of challenges and conversations. This year, we took a different approach in that we divided the room out by positions. And this was done by design to really force that collaboration between individuals that hold the same role as yourself across organizations. It was meant to really pursue learning amongst the participants. So emergency information officers having that opportunity to hear what other emergency information officers are doing or are tackling. And the same thing for each of those positions that we hold within our municipal emergency control group. So this is what the room looked like that day. And then this is what it looked like when we got everybody into that room. So overall, it was a protocol-based discussion. There was 5 key time bands that were provided throughout the day with a variety of injects that groups had to discuss. Everybody, each group, they spoke for 5 minutes on the scenario for that time band. And the order of the day went the same at each time band. So starting with the OPP and then fire and then health services, CAOs, elected officials, CEMCs, and then we went to public works, planning, building, and OPG, and ended with housing, recreation, and our finance group. The results from that day in terms of the hot wash reports, I'm currently going through those now, and I'll be writing an after-action report with some of the key learning opportunities and recommendations that came from the activities that day. It was a very fulfilling day, and it was unique in that the Canadian Armed Forces, it was the first time that they've participated in this level of exercise with municipal involvement. So that was a really big takeaway for us. The opportunity to work with them came about every year. They do annual field training, and it just so happened that one of their 3 field training sites was in this area, and this is what created this opportunity for us to work collaboratively together. After the tabletop exercise wrapped up, the field portion launched, and that ran from Friday evening all day Saturday and Saturday evening and into Sunday morning. And I'm just going to take an opportunity to run you through a few of the photos and activities that occurred throughout the rest of the weekend once our tabletop portion wrapped up. So as I mentioned, it was the Canadian Armed Forces annual field training of their reservists. They had troops deployed to 3 different areas in the province throughout the weekend. Roughly 1,500 troops were engaged. A contingency of troops went out to Sudbury District, to Northumberland, and then to the Long Sault Parkway and Cornwall Armories. The Friday evening began with troops being deployed both by vehicle as well as by air. And these troops here were carrying medical supplies for their exercise throughout the weekend that you'll see in that large cargo bag at the bottom. Those were hanging from the helicopters, and these landed on the Morrisburg airstrip, as well as in the Long Sault Parkway on one of the islands. Throughout the Saturday, troops did set up their barracks in the Long Sault Parkway where they had their meals. At the armories, they were similar to how we dealt with our tabletop exercise, where they learned information and had to react and deploy. They worked through that. And troops on the ground in the Long Sault Parkway were deployed to deal with search and rescue, as well as debris, and just overall support. So they went off on foot, and they also went off using watercraft, and ran their team through a series of field exercise drills. There was opportunity to partner with the OPP and work their teams together on support for this fictitious emergency. They also brought in quite a bit of heavy equipment, which they deployed throughout the parkway and conducted activities like debris removal as well as tree felling. So just some images there. There was opportunity to work with SARTEC, that's their search and rescue teams. These are the folks that they deploy by air and drop down and do medical evac through air transport. St. Lawrence Parks Commission staff, as well as Canadian Armed Forces, had an opportunity to work with these experts in terms of dealing with triaging casualties and a variety of different injuries. There were field actors throughout the parkway with a variety of different ailments that were, found and had to be triaged and assisted with. On Saturday, I had an opportunity to work with the Canadian Armed Forces liaison officers and organize a bus field trip for municipal staff that were interested in coming out to the site. We had an opportunity to visit the OPP command post, the Osabar command post, as well as the Canadian Armed Forces command post. It was very interesting to see how their mobile units operate, as well as the technology that they have between the organizations to collaboratively work together in search and rescue. Following our site visit to the command post, we had an opportunity to meet with the OPP's drone team, look at some of the technologies that they're using, and speak with their officers about their role in search and rescue. Once the activities wrapped up on the bus tour, myself and Karina Belanger, we came here with a group of liaison officers. So the liaison officer with the Canadian Armed Forces would be the individual that, if there was a requirement to have the armed forces come in and assist, and you had your emergency operations center activated, the liaison officer would be that member that's your key person in your EOC, that's your go-between between yourself and other levels throughout the military. So we wanted to provide them an opportunity to see what our EOC here at the counties was, to familiarize themselves with what it would be like sitting in a room working with us, and we took the opportunity to give them a tour of the SDG Historic Jail. Following the tour of our facilities here, there was an opportunity for individuals who participated in the tabletop exercise to attend a working dinner at the armories. So we met with a variety of personnel, and we were provided an opportunity to talk about what we enjoyed about working with them throughout the weekend, things that we learned and things that we would want to improve upon in the future. And so it was a really interesting opportunity and much appreciated to be provided a voice at that table and be heard. The weekend wrapped up on Sunday morning at Mill Rush Campground, where the OPP forensics team set up a grid search and trained both Canadian Armed Forces personnel as well as St. Lawrence Parks Commission personnel on how to set up and conduct a grid search. So it was really interesting to see that, and a great opportunity to kind of dive into all the different aspects to an emergency response. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was an amazing emergency management, the best one I've ever been to, and I really enjoyed it, and was thankful for the opportunity to do the tour the next day and have dinner with the armed forces at the armory. So I was very happy with all that. Comments, questions? I saw Councillor McGillis.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same thing that you just said regarding being the best exercise or emergency exercise plan that I ever attended. I attended a lot of them over the years. This one by far was the best. I encourage all my colleagues next time if we have one that's the same as this to attend, because it's well worth it. Learned a lot. The ones that attended, I thank you. Did have the opportunity to talk to other organizations. They said the same thing. We reiterated the same thing that I did, saying that they enjoyed it and they thought they learned a lot, and it was one of the better emergency exercise plans they've encountered. Got to go that night to the armories and hear all, and thank you very much for everything you've done. You were our voice throughout the weekend there too as well. I'm glad you made it back from the field exercise, Mr. Warden, without getting any injuries. But anyway, it was great. We went to the armories, had a good time, and listened to what they had to say with respect to the details of the whole weekend. It was great.
Thank you. Further comments? You'll notice in one of the pictures they presented me with a plaque. The plaque is for the counties, not for me, and just as the head of council, I guess I was lucky enough to get up and accept it. But I would like to present it to Catherine, because it's an amazing amount of work she did. They would have liked to taken her with them if they could have, and hired her to work for them in the military. But thank goodness she stayed with us. But unbelievable amount of work, and they were very appreciative. So this plaque is presented by the Stormont Dundas Glengarry Highlanders and the 33rd Territorial Battalion Group to the United Counties. If you would come up, I'd like to give it to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Spieler. We're on 11.5, Equity, Diversion, and Inclusion. I think Ms. Summers is going to speak to this.
All right, through you, Mr. Warden. Good morning, everyone. What I'm presenting to you today is the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion EDI framework. So this framework was developed in direct response to the strategic plan for 2023 to 2026, and it really includes some very basic elements that I'll outline for you today. So initially, we developed the level of commitment that we want to achieve through this framework. And this commitment is fostering an inclusive workplace where every employee feels valued and respected. And that is really supported through 3 foundational pillars. And so pillar number 1 is through communication and branding. Pillar number 2 is through training and development. And pillar number 3 is through policy development and review. And so all of these elements are very easily implemented into our current day-to-day activities at the county level. And we have outlined in the report a number of focus areas on how we aim to achieve all of those pillars over the course of the next few years and forever and ever. So it is not something that's stagnant or finite. It is something that would be ongoing and would include ongoing efforts to ensure that we are able to meet our commitment.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Councillor Denson?
Thank you, Mr. Warden, and thank you. It's an important topic, and again, I think we have to continue to respect all people as individuals within the public and within our corporation. There's a broad range of perspectives in the public on various topics. So I remember back when I was first starting my career, the catchphrase was, "We're an equal opportunity employer," and I think that probably still exists today. And I think Canada, as a nation, actually has a very progressive viewpoint on things. The thing that we have to be careful of is we just need to be sure that we're measured and respectful in how we promote this perspective. I don't personally see it as our responsibility to prescribe any social agenda within this, but we absolutely need to foster a non-discriminatory environment as a workplace, and so again, very supportive, and we just need to be careful and measured in how we execute on this.
Thank you. Further questions, comments? Thank you very much.
Okay.
11.6, Personal Policy Manual. Ms. Summers again.
Thank you very much. Through you, Mr. Warden. We have begun this conversation back in December. And since then, we have had a series of meetings identifying what areas of our existing personnel policy manual that could be improved upon to ensure that it is exactly as it should be, that foundation of our practices, our policies, and how we conduct ourselves internally. And so through that process, we have been able to identify that there is a desire to make some changes. And those changes are really focused on the key focus areas that are outlined in the report, which include equity, diversity, and inclusion, compliance with legal and regulatory changes, reflecting organizational changes, enhancing the employee engagement and morale, enhancing employee experience and benefits, improving operational efficiency, and aligning with best practices across the municipal sector. And so this research and these ideas have begun to form. However, we're really looking for council to provide some general feedback, comment, and or an element of support that we're ultimately looking for before we proceed with the overall changes. It's really important that this document reflects what we want the organization to do and how we would like to see the treatment of incidents or our employees. And so before we dive too deep into this, we'd just like to get your feedback again. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Councillor Fraser.
Thank you, Mr. Warden, through you. Just whenever I was looking at this, Ms. Summers, so 2022, has there been many regulatory and legal changes to the ESA?
I would say that not necessarily ESA changes. However, because these documents do stand the test of time, as things have changed likely in the past, they've been missed in other updates. And so therefore, sometimes the language may not intentionally be in contradiction. However, when you dive deeper into interpreting specific incidents, you can realize that your policy may inadvertently lead you down a path that may not be in alignment with ESA.
Thank you, and if I may, Mr. Warden, thank you for that answer. But when I think of 2022 and I think of 2025 and I think of all the pressures that everyone is under, I'm surprised that it's not more frequent. I know you're recently with us at SDG, so I appreciate that. But I think it's incumbent on us to piggyback to Councillor Dencham's thoughts maybe, that we need to be more aware and we need to be ensuring that our policies and our culture is moving forward at the pace that society is moving forward at, because sometimes I know at the lower tier we can become a little bit stagnant in some of our policies, not about DEI, but about other topics. So I do appreciate this project, and I appreciate that we're going to be updating and considering how we interact with the staff and how we interact with the public and how we have to adapt at all times. Thank you very much for all the work.
Thank you. Anything further? Councillor Densham?
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Yeah, it's tough to tell at this level of detail. I don't think I have a problem with any of the items, the headings that you have, but it's going to come down to the detail within the sub-bullets that you're building into this in terms of what the specific recommendations are. So will we get a chance to review that as these documents progress?
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Absolutely. Through you, Mr. Warden, one of the elements that we do want to do is actually further enhance the manual itself and include policies as appendix, and actually have those policies integrated into the PPM versus being standalone outside of the PPM. And therefore, that will allow us to have, that opportunity to continuously review our policies, and really that obligation to continue to review our policies, and nothing gets left behind or left out of these conversations that we will likely have every 3, 4, 5 years. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Councillor Broad?
Yeah, thank you, Warden. Through you, just a quick comment was through some experiences, I've worked with South Dundas with Ms. Summers in the amount of detail and excellence she puts in her work. I'm looking forward to these details, as Councillor Densham mentioned. So expecting excellent work on this, and this is just step one of the process. So thank you, Ms. Summers.
Thank you. It does say if we have any further comments. Do you have a deadline that you'd like us to get those comments back? Maybe there'll be more comments after we see the detail, but...
Yep, I'm open to comments at any time. I do hope to bring this back September, October, depending on volume of work in the next few months. But if I'm able to do that, then hopefully that can give you a better insight as to what the manual may look like prior to bringing it back in a formal capacity.
Perfect, thank you. Nothing further. We'll go to Consulting Services for Government Relations. CEO Adams.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. So the key information report in front of Council this morning is really to determine if Council has an appetite or willingness to start to engage like a contracting out of professional services when it comes to being able to do some advocacy on behalf of SDG and potentially in some of our other local municipalities. As an example, I'm going to reference Strategy Corp. They've done a significant amount of work for the OWC. I know they've also helped South Stormont with many of their priorities over the last couple of years. And then I think that there's been some success in utilizing and engaging a firm like that. I think that it could be, if Council wanted to start, we could initiate using those services maybe on a couple of items to see how, test the waters to an extent to see if that is the right fit or the right benefit for the counties of SD and G. I don't think, when in speaking with South Stormont, Debbie was very helpful, their CIO. They will engage services for Strategy Corp on a as-needed basis, so not a formal retainer, not a formal contract, and I have not approached Strategy Corp as of yet. Some of the benefits of their firm is just they're familiar with Eastern Ontario, they're familiar with the rural aspect of many of our areas within the EOWC. And so I wanted to put this report in front of council today based on some feedback from other members of council to allow dialogue and to see if there's some appetite to take an approach moving forward.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Councillor Broad and then Councillor McDonald.
Yeah, thank you. Through you, Warden. Thanks, CEO Adams. Appreciate bringing this back. We had originally kind of started this conversation during our strat plan meetings, and then more specifically when we did our social funding, the motion, notice of motion we brought forward, we kind of went in two ways, thinking about a policy which we brought forward and approved, and then potentially doing some advocacy. So I appreciate the report, and hopefully we can move forward and have support for us at council to move forward.
Thank you. Councillor McDonald.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Warden. Yeah, I'm in favor of doing something like this. We've used those services in North Glengarry, and it's been successful. And I'm pointing to the Highway 138 improvements. We all know that as warden, and I know all the past wardens have had that on their agenda. Met with Minister Mulrooney twice. I did, and we just keep getting it seems a lot of lip service. We get these little changes, and I don't know how much longer they want to wait before they do something. So I think that would be one of the prime reasons I would want to see that happen. So I'm looking forward to us moving forward. I'd also like to just say that I hope that we do look beyond Strategy Corp at other people that give these services. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. Councillor McGillis.
Yeah, I have to agree also, Mr. Warden. They've done a significant amount of work for us over the past, and they're still continuing to do so. We have a big plan coming up in Ingleside for more residential growth with multi-residential homes, and they're sure worth their money. So I would not hesitate to use them for different things that will benefit the counties. In all fairness, I know that there's a lot of things that were said, and there's a petition going, with the public regarding 138. But I was talking with Nolan this morning. I met with him on Friday. I just wanted to tell him that thank you for all your help so far. He does deserve some kudos on that, because a lot of things have changed since he's been in the position that he's in, which helped us all along the way quite a bit. And I just wanted I said thank very much for your, and I know Minister Carolyn Mulroney did a lot to advocate for us too as well, but there's still a lot more to be done. But I just wanted to pass that on, that there's, the people that did do something so far need to be acknowledged.
Thank you. Councillor Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. Yes, I'm in favor of this as well. It's easy to talk about advocacy, and then somehow or another it's on the back burner. So I think even though engaging if it's Strategy Corp, great, or another firm, developing briefing notes, preparation for meetings and delegations with ministers, that's all important stuff. But I think before, Maureen sometimes is able to do some of those briefing notes anyway. But I think what's really important here is developing those strategies, those advocacy strategies, and getting some meat on those bones, because we've got a bunch of priorities here, and they're not all the same. They're going to require different strategies that will need to be implemented in order to be able to move forward on them. So I'm looking for, rather than just somebody to do the work for us, I'm looking for some real strategic planning on advocacy, so that we know exactly what we're doing and how we're going to do it and what's going to make this successful.
Thank you. Councillor Denson.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. And yeah, I won't repeat. I agree with all the speakers that came before me. The one thing when I look down the list is I think we need to have specific projects in mind, and the 138 is one key one that we've been working on, and I think we need to get traction on personally. Some of these topics, though, I wonder whether or not they either I don't understand them and they need to be targeted a little bit more precisely, or they appear to potentially be too broad for necessarily one region to take on, like MPAC market assessment. That's a provincial decision. Unless we had a local spin on it, or we wanted to take up the flag on something like that, I think we need to be a little bit more targeted. Even in the area of housing, Councillor McGillis mentioned a specific area or subdivision or area that needs to be developed. I think we'd want to target our message. Be very careful on targeting the message and make sure that we have consensus around the table that those are specific priorities, rather than if we go in with general, are we doing this for our own region, or are we taking on a provincial level project? I think we want to be fairly targeted in what we do here.
Thank you. Councillor Broad.
Yeah, thank you, through you, Warden, just to help Councillor Densham help create the list. And there are definitely more pieces to that pie when I reviewed the strat plan for all our communities. But I also used all the Warden's speeches for the last 3 years, so Warden Fraser, Warden McDonald, and went through all the notes from their speeches of specific things they wanted to work on, and these were the items that continue to pop up. So yeah, in those speeches and those documents, there's a lot more detail to those. So agreed on your comment that that's how we have to dive in to those pieces. Thank you.
Thank you. Anything further? I think we go ahead. We haven't heard anything against, so we'll move forward. 11.8.
Thank you, Mr. Warden. So not a lot to update. Warden Lang updated everyone on the Queen's Park Day that we had with the EOWC. One thing that I would like to do today is I'd like to introduce everybody to Jessica Ufflug. She's in the back. Maybe Jessica, you could wave or stand up. Many of you are familiar with Meredith Staley-Watson that does work on behalf of the EOWC. Jessica is joining the EOWC, or has joined the EOWC several months ago, to provide additional support to Meredith. It is a role that is able to be done somewhat remotely, and so we have the benefit of a recruit from South Glengarry. So Jessica resides in South Glengarry and is able to do quite a bit of the work remotely. But part of what we want to try and do through the EOWC as well is give that individual an opportunity to spend some time in the municipal offices to get to know staff. So Jessica will be in our building on occasion, and but we just wanted to highlight we've got an SDG resident that's working alongside with the EOWC. So just wanted to formally welcome Jessica in front of council, and we look forward to working with her over the next several months. And I can attest she was incredibly busy over the last several weeks getting prepared for our Queen's Park Day this past week, and it was a very big success. And that's it.
Thank you. Welcome, Jessica. And she was, especially for those like me that show up and needed extra notes and so forth, and she had everything when we were in Queen's Park and kept everybody on track, so much appreciated. We are down to, we're moving to closed session, I guess, Madam Clerk.
It's moved by Councillor McDonald, seconded by Councillor Broad, that council proceed in camera pursuant to Section 239(2)B of the Municipal Act 2001, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, for an HR matter.
All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. All right. Okay, welcome back to open, everyone. Thank you very much. We're going to have, I think it's a motion to move into open. Or do we?
Yeah, it's moved by Councillor McGillis, seconded by Councillor Densham, that council rise and reconvene in open session without reporting.
All those in favor? It's everybody. Thank you. What's ratification bylaw?
It's moved by Councillor Broad, seconded by Councillor Landry, that bylaw number 5496, being a bylaw to adopt, confirm, and ratify matters dealt with by resolution, be read and passed in open council, signed and sealed.
Thank you. All in favor? It's everyone. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
An adjournment moved by Councillor Broad, seconded by Councillor Densham, that council adjourn to the call of the chair.
All those in favor? Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.